Tonight's lineup on TV 27 is brought to you by Morgan & Morgan.
This is Channel 9 Eyewitness News this morning. Coverage you can count on.
Well, this morning, a man is dead after being shot by a Port Orange police officer. What investigators say the man did to force police to open fire. Plus,
And alcohol on the beach.
I only had like 2 beers.
Ahead of the charges this couple in Volusia County is facing after deputies say they got drunk on the beach and lost track of their young kids.
and the votes are in. The support former President Donald Trump received in Florida's Republican presidential preference primary and results from important races all across Central Florida. Well, good morning to you. I'm Christopher Heath. The time now, 8 o'clock.
And I'm Alexa Lorenzo. We get you going with certified meteorologist Cassandra Crimmy on this chilly start to your Wednesday.
Yeah, we expected this morning to be the coldest morning of the week, and it has delivered. Lots of 40s across Central Florida, a handful of some 30s even. It's still in the 30s in Ocala and in Palm Coast. We're at 47 in Sanford, 45 right now in New Smyrna. Again, down from yesterday's temperatures in most spots by 5 to almost 15 degrees in a few locations. And as we go through the day today, there will be a change. It's not going to be cool and breezy. We're actually going to bring those winds down quite a bit, and our temperatures will start to warm a bit more. So daytime highs are going to be back into the 70s today. You can see the 70s already settling in by 1 o'clock. In Orlando, we'll get to about 77 degrees later this afternoon, which will be one of our warmer communities. Most of us are going to hit about 70 to 75 degrees later this afternoon, but it's going to be a great day. As we head through the overnight tonight, cool again, and then getting warmer tomorrow. We'll talk a bit about that coming up in my full forecast. Our time right now, 8:01. We're going to check the roads with Alexa.
We have a minor crash on the turnpike this morning. This is moving southbound right by State Road 408. This is our first live look of this crash. You can see right here all travel lanes are still open. Road rangers are already on scene, so we aren't seeing tremendous impacts for this crash. Then our live and drive is showing us a crash on Central Florida Parkway and Westwood. A bit difficult to see as drivers make that right-hand turn, but you can see one of the vehicles involved badly damaged on the front of the vehicle. With this crash now in the median, your main travel lanes are open. And a crash on South Apopka Vineland Road and Wallace Road, not too far from Dr. Phillips, is causing some shakeups to your morning commute.
Right now, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement is investigating an officer-involved shooting in Port Orange.
You can see the crime scene tape stretched across this neighborhood yesterday afternoon. It all played out on Jandon Court, not far from Spruce Creek Park. Channel 9 Sam Martello is following this story for us in studio. And Sam, police say a man charged at them with a knife.
Alexa, we're told this call came in reference to a suicidal subject. Port Orange police say the man would not listen to their commands to stop as he charged at police with a knife. The neighbors we spoke with couldn't believe this happened in their neighborhood to this man. You'll hear more from them coming up in 30 minutes. Live in studio, Sam Martello, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
New from overnight, Volusia County deputies are searching for suspects after shots were fired at a park in Deltona. Deputies were called to West Cryle Park off of Fort Smith Boulevard around 5:30 last night. Witnesses told them there were several young men in the back of the park with guns. They say they heard gunshots and saw the group run. Deputies say thankfully no one was hurt. The incident did disrupt activities in the area, including primary voting at a nearby polling location. One person was detained. It's unclear whether they're facing charges.
Well, this morning, body camera video shows Volusia County deputies responding to a couple who they say got drunk on the beach and let their kids wander off.
Wake up, guys. Hey. The sheriff's office, wake up.
Well, that video was taken Saturday afternoon. Deputies say the couple from Georgia was passed out, surrounded by open cans of alcohol. They say their 5- and 7-year-old kids had gone by themselves to a hotel pool. After being handcuffed, the video shows the man try to take off running before falling. Yep, the couple was arrested for child neglect and having alcohol on the beach. Well, of course, this comes as state officials warn spring breakers to be on their best behavior. Coming up at 8:15, a plan by the state attorney general to help people recover from drug overdoses.
Lake County deputies say they're still trying to understand what led to a woman to shoot and kill her husband. Investigators say Maria Rodriguez shot 40-year-old Andrew Rodriguez several times on Ralph Lake Drive Sunday night. Deputies say a family member told them the suspect was acting erratically days before the crime.
They stated that the victim, her husband, had reached out to them to ask them to come over and try to talk the suspect into going for some mental evaluation or some medical treatment because she was just not acting right in the days preceding the shooting.
Rodriguez is being held without bond at the Lake County Jail.
U.S. lawmakers have just a few more days to strike a deal to avoid a government shutdown. The deadline is Friday night. You're taking a live look at the U.S. Capitol, where congressional leaders say they're getting closer to an agreement, but it's possible the vote will not happen until this weekend. A shutdown could force the IRS to furlough thousands of workers, which would disrupt your tax filing. Could also impact spring break travel, as air traffic controllers and most of the TSA would be required to come into work temporarily without pay. Well, happening today, you can wave goodbye and say good luck to the Hatters up at Stetson University as they head off to New York for the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, earlier this week we showed you as they celebrated when they found out they would be competing in March Madness for the first time ever. The team is set to take on the defending champs, the UConn Huskies, on Friday. Fans are invited to cheer them on for a goodbye at the Edmonds Center on campus at 2 today. We'll show you that send-off on Eyewitness News starting at 4. So best of luck. I think they're going to hold off. What do you think?
You know, there's always bracket busters, so
go Hatters.
You never know. You never know. But yeah, it's time for March Madness, my friends. And here in Central Florida, it is a gorgeous start to our day. We've got a whole lot of sunshine outside right now over downtown Orlando. Our temperature, it's sitting at 51 degrees. We dipped into the 40s, though, this morning. We're now back up just a few degrees. There's a lot of 40s still holding on. 42 in DeLand, 44 in the Villages, and even some 30s still up in parts of Marion and Flagler counties. So we have that drop in our temperatures, making it the coolest morning of the week. As we take you through the afternoon, though, we are going to be building those temperatures back up to close to seasonal levels. 70s are back nearly widespread, and many of us even the mid and upper 70s for today. So today and tomorrow, we kind of start on the cool to cold side. We turn warmer through the afternoon. By tomorrow, we're actually looking at temperatures back into the 80s. But then Friday into the weekend, we've got some changes, some rain, some isolated storms, and then some breezy weather again moving back in for the weekend. I'll take you through all those changes coming up. Our time right now, 8:10. We'll get a check of the roads with Alexa.
A look at a crash on Central Florida Parkway and Westwood. You can see the vehicles involved right here in the median. Traffic is still moving on all those main travel lanes. A live look from our Live and Drive. Then we have a crash on South Apopka, Vineland and Wallace, not too far from Dr. Phillips Elementary. Give yourself some extra time through here. Then we're tracking a minor crash on the shoulder of the turnpike. This is heading southbound right by the 408. We don't have any traffic building because of that wreck.
Or learn new information into a state investigation into an Orlando City Commissioner, Regina Hill.
Coming up, the reaction from the mayor and what only we found out about a document at the center of this case.
And ahead, what a new report reveals about the amount of pesticides found in the produce your family may be eating every day.
And in just over a month, you can come out to downtown Orlando to celebrate Florida's Puerto Rican Parade and Festival. Next, what organizers just revealed about this year's plans. It's 8:11.
Drone 9, only on Channel 9 Eyewitness News, getting you closer over the scene of breaking news.
Drone 9, sponsored by StrataAC.com. You ought to call Strata.
Every day on Channel 9 Eyewitness News, we hold the government accountable.
She receives a notice from Social Security. You've been overpaid approximately $210,000. We just can't get through to anyone at Social Security to do what they're supposed to do. She doesn't owe this money to them.
Helping you when you can't get answers.
And I've complied with everything they asked me for.
What is your biggest fear at this point?
Losing my home.
Channel 9 Eyewitness News is coverage you can count on.
Well, this morning, State Attorney General Ashley Moody is sending a warning to spring breakers along the Volusia County coast. She says illegal drugs are spreading and they could be laced with deadly amounts of fentanyl. Moody and Volusia County Sheriff Mike Chitwood say they're seeing traces of fentanyl show up in younger and younger kids, and they know spring break is a popular time for underage drinking and drug use.
We serve search warrants on these drug dens. We recover pill presses. Those pill presses are pressing pills to look like popular party drugs, and they're 100% fentanyl.
The Attorney General also highlighted the Helping Heroes program, which gives out free Narcan, the nasal spray that can reverse an overdose. Meantime, another major sporting event is coming to Camping World Stadium. At 8:30, we'll tell you about two world-class soccer teams that are set to play one of the biggest matches the stadium has ever hosted. Well, this morning, the countdown is on for the annual Puerto Rican Parade and Festival.
About 25,000 people packed downtown for the parade last year, and organizers say they're optimistic that number could now double. This year's parade is dedicated to the town of Juncos. It's known for its prominent sports scene and for serving as a regional business hub. This year's parade theme is civic engagement and responsibility, with organizers encouraging government participation.
Our vote is our force, it's our voice, and we have over 1 million Puerto Ricans here in the state of Florida, and if we don't go out and vote, it's like an invisible population.
The parade will happen on April 27th, and we'll have live coverage right here on Channel 9. So always tons of fun out there. People show up and show out. Sometimes they have rain jackets. Sometimes they're wearing tank tops. It just depends on what you get.
That time of year, we're about to be getting into the wet season. It gets hot, sticky. So we'll be watching that closely, but nothing hot and sticky about today. Nope. It is cold out there. Yeah. This coldest morning of the week, and we're looking at 30s and 40s for most. Port Canaveral, Cocoa Beach, you've been somewhat of the exception with the upper 50s all morning long. Kind of that strip of sand along our southern Brevard County beaches has been quite mild. Inland, though, Melbourne, Palm Bay, we had some upper 40s and low 50s. You can see those current temperatures still a lot in the 40s. 47 in Sanford and New Smyrna, 42 in DeLand, 30s still in Ocala and in Palm Coast this morning. So it is quite cold. You can see 5 to 10 degrees cooler in most locations. Titusville, 13 degrees colder because of that drop into the 40s. We are dry. We are clear. We're not even seeing any clouds on our satellite imagery here unless we head out towards the Atlantic. If we go through the afternoon tomorrow, even after that cool start, we have a nice warm up. We're back to the 80s, 82 degrees tomorrow afternoon. Come Friday, our rain chance increases, and that'll keep our temperatures down just a bit. The clouds, the showers will keep our highs in the low 70s, but the weekend's looking nice outside of some morning showers on Saturday. Our time right now, almost 8:20. We'll get a check of the roads at the Lexa.
Minor crash on the turnpike southbound right near the 408. All travel lanes still open, but of course drivers are moving over to keep those crews responding and the drivers involved safe. Then we take you to South Apopka Vineland and Wallace Road, not too far from Dr. Phillips Elementary Slowdowns building for this crash investigation. Then we slide on over to this situation we've been watching on Robinson Street and Fern Creek. Some slowdowns through here.
Well, if you recently shopped at Trader Joe's, you might want to check your cabinet for a newly recalled product. Some of the brand's cashews are being recalled over salmonella risk. It involves certain production lots of 50% less sodium roasted and salted whole cashews. Customers can take the recalled products to a Trader Joe's for a full refund.
Fabric and craft retailer Joann has filed for bankruptcy. It's a Chapter 11 filing, which helps the company reduce its debt so it can reorganize. For now, Joann plans to leave all of its more than 800 stores and websites open for business. The company's stock has been delisted from the NASDAQ and will become privately owned. Joann, which has been around for about 81 years, has had financial trouble for a while now.
Well, there's a warning for parents to keep some toys away from their kids.
Coming up, it's one we've told you about before, the companies that have refused to comply with the recall of these water beads.
And next, the supplies NASA and SpaceX are preparing to launch from our Space Coast tomorrow for the teams on the International Space Station.
Plus, JetBlue Airlines says it'll cut some routes to save money. Why Orlando is so important to the airline's plan to see profits take off again. Here's a live look this morning at beautiful Lake Eola Park in downtown Orlando. Lots of blue as you get out the door, gorgeous skies and a calm lake. Certified meteorologist Cassandra Crimi will have the full details on this chilly start to your Wednesday.
This is an Eyewitness News update.
And good morning to you. It is 8:27. I'm Christopher Heath. In the news this morning, FDLE is stepping in to investigate a deadly officer-involved shooting in Port Orange. Police were responding to reports of a suicidal person. This unfolded yesterday on Jandon Court, not too far from Spruce Creek Park. Police say they were forced to shoot a man who refused to follow commands, then charged at them with a knife. There were 2 officers on the scene. One opened fire. They tried to render aid to the man, but he later died. The officer who opened fire has been with the department for about 2 years. He'll be on paid administrative leave during the investigation, which is a standard procedure. All right, let's take a look at the roads with Alexa Lorenzo.
Slowdowns on Apopka Vineland right at Wallace Road as investigators work to clear up an early morning crash. Then we jump on over to another situation that we're watching. You can see it right here on Live Traffic Tracker. This is Robinson and Fern Creek, seeing some delays here. Then we have a minor crash on the shoulder of the turnpike. This is southbound right by the 408. All lanes still open. Here's Cassie Crimmy.
Outside, it is on the cold side. Lots of 30s and 40s for parts of Central Florida. A few 50s still holding on. We're at 51 again in Orlando, 51 in Kissimmee, and 51 in Winter Haven. Bumping back up from some of the 40s. Also, Melbourne starting to climb from the 40s we had this morning. They were very widespread across Central Florida and still are generally. We have a lot of those 40s. But as we take you through the afternoon, we're going to dial the winds back today. We'll keep the sunshine around and our temperatures will climb just a bit more. We're back to close to seasonal levels with mid and upper 70s in place for most of the area. We'll have some low 70s at the coastline. And tonight we'll do it again with more 40s and 50s. But we do get warmer tomorrow with daytime highs back in the 80s. And our next rain chance coming on Friday. Chris?
It is 8:28. If you're watching us on Channel 9, you want the latest news and weather, flip over to TV 27. We'll see you over there.
Weather from Severe Weather Center 9 is brought to you by Morgan & Morgan.
This is Channel 9 Eyewitness News this morning. Coverage you can count on.
This morning, FDLE is investigating after a Port Orange police officer shot and killed a man. The reaction from people who live nearby.
Plus, Channel 9 is digging into the criminal investigation targeting Orlando City Commissioner, how signatures on a document are creating new questions in this case.
And it's another chilly morning across Central Florida. Certified meteorologist Cassandra Crimmy is tracking just how cold it'll be when you walk out the door and walk back into your door at night, because it's cold in the morning, cold at night. I'm not on a rant or anything. I love the cold weather. Good morning. I'm Alexa.
I'm Chris.
I'm trying to figure out. I miss the heat. Here's Cassie.
You know,
cold.
It does get a little bit warmer later this afternoon. We'll glass half full it there, but just a little bit. We take it outside. We have a lot of 30s and 40s, so it is the coldest morning of the week for us, for sure. We're looking at 49 right now, actively in Leesburg, 47 in Sanford, 46 in Daytona Beach, 30 still in Ocala and Palm Coast. So you may need that jacket this morning. You may need to turn the heat on in your car, depending on your comfort level threshold. But as we take you hour by hour through the day today, it's going to be sunny, it's going to be mild. Winds are going to be down from yesterday, so it won't be as breezy, and our temperatures are going to climb just a little bit more today. So we'll climb out of the 60s. We're going to get close to kind of what's normal for afternoon temperatures. We'll fall shy of it by just a bit, but many of us will hit the mid to upper 70s today. We're going to keep it dry as well today and tomorrow, but come Friday, you can see we've got some good rainfall potential headed our direction, and it looks as though we could get kind of multiple waves of rain come Friday and into Saturday. Some big changes there. We'll talk about that coming up in my full forecast. 8:31 is another time. We'll get a check of the roads with Alexa.
We start this morning with a live look at the turnpike. This is southbound right by State Road 408. Traffic still able to move through here as crews are off to the side working this crash. Then we show you a wreck on South Apopka Vineland and Wallace, not far from Dr. Phillips High School, or elementary school rather. We have some slowdowns stacking up through here. Then in downtown, we've been watching this crash for about 45 minutes. Things are still moving through here, but we have some slight delays this morning along Fern Creek. This is right at Robinson.
Well, this morning, FDLE is stepping in to investigate a deadly officer-involved shooting in Port Orange. It happened just before 1 o'clock yesterday afternoon.
Officers say they were forced to shoot at a man who charged at them with a knife. Channel 9's Sam Martello joins us live in studio this morning. And Sam, some neighbors we spoke with could not believe how this played out.
Neighbors told us the man who lived in his house in the neighborhood for more than 20 years. They say he was a great guy, and they're still stunned to hear about what happened.
9 Investigates is digging deeper into the criminal investigation focused on an Orlando City Commissioner. On Monday, we first reported that Commissioner Regina Hill is accused of stealing tens of thousands of dollars from an elderly woman who lives in her district.
Channel 9's Nick Papantonis reports a document allegedly used to transfer some of that money is now being questioned. Well, NASA and SpaceX are counting down to the next resupply mission to the International Space Station.
Coming up, the equipment that's about to head to the astronauts in orbit.
And the Federal Reserve will meet today and vote on whether to raise interest rates. Next, what experts are predicting and how it's going to impact your wallet. The time right now, 8:37.
This Tower Cam Shot, sponsored by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Good Wednesday morning. Our time right now just about 8:40. We check your weather and traffic every 10 minutes. And as we step outside, it is a colder start to our day. 30s and 40s for most of Central Florida. Starting to see a few of the 50s return. Orlando, Kissimmee, Winter Haven, even Melbourne starting to get those numbers back into the 50s. So for the kiddos, jackets to start the day, or hoodies, some type of a long sleeve, but something that they'll be able to take off, because later this afternoon, mild to even warm. We're going to take the winds away, so it's not going to be as breezy as we had yesterday. It's also not going to be as cool as we had yesterday. We're looking for daytime highs in the mid to upper 70s. So in Orlando, we're looking at a high today of around 77 degrees. So the hour by hour, you can see there's going to be plenty of sunshine. If the kids are headed to an outdoor camp, lots of sunscreen for today. That UV index will be high for us, and we'll get to about 71 degrees at around 2 o'clock in Orlando. But look at our peak temperatures. If you're beach bound for spring break, it's a better beach day, but it's not the best beach day. Our temperatures are in the low 70s. You can see up and down our coastline. Our warmest temperatures will be inland, mid to upper 70s. But tomorrow, it does get warmer through the afternoon, but we do have some wet changes also before this week is all said and done. I'll have details on that coming up. 8:41 is our time. We'll get a check of the roads with Alexa.
We have a crash this morning on Apopka, Vineland and Wallace. Some slight delays through here, not too far from Dr. Phillips Elementary. Then we show you a crash in downtown. This is Robinson and Fern Creek. Things are still moving through here. Then we have a minor crash on the Turnpike. This is heading southbound right by the 408. Just ahead, why it may cost the Easter Bunny a little more money to fill your Easter basket this year.
And next, why the Consumer Product Safety Commission just issued a new warning about a toy that 9 Investigates has told you about before. The time right now, 8:42.
If your kids play with water beads, the Consumer Product Safety Commission has a new warning for you. 9 Investigates first told you about these toys back in December of 2022 after an Ormond Beach toddler had to undergo emergency surgery.
Now, after our story, the commission ordered recalls, but as investigative reporter Ashlyn Webb discovered, 2 Chinese manufacturers of the toys are not cooperating with the commission's orders. Well, the commission says if you have one of these sets of water beads, throw it out immediately.
New from overnight, the Mega Millions jackpot is still growing. No one won last night's $893 million jackpot. So the grand prize in Friday's drawing is now up to $977 million. You can check out last night's winning numbers on the homepage of WFTV.com.
Well, this year you may have to pay just a little bit more for some of your favorite Easter candy.
If it's chocolate, expect those prices to be pretty up there. A new report from Wells Fargo finds cocoa prices are skyrocketing because of a dwindling supply around the world. The report blames climate issues, including tree diseases brought on by heavy rainfall. West African cocoa farmers are also dealing with dry temperatures and extreme winds. Cocoa prices have more than doubled over the last year.
I like to go around the newsroom and hand out little Heath candy bars, mainly because, well, listen, when you get a candy named after you, it's incumbent upon you to spread it around.
Or were you named after the candy bar?
Ooh, we may never know.
The Heath or the Heath?
I like that.
Yeah, technically Heath is like a word for like a small hill. I don't know. So anyway, could be one or the other.
If I were rich, I'd pass out Amazon Alexas to everyone. That'd be a good gift.
You could win the Mega Millions. There you go.
Perfect.
We're solving problems this morning. We get you outside live over at Daytona Beach. Gorgeous view there. Something to notice. Remember how strong the winds were yesterday? The flags just whipping. Now we've got a little bit of a breeze there. You can see at the airport it's calm. Our temperature though, 46 degrees. Boy, oh boy, is it cold up in parts of Volusia County, Flagler County, parts of Lake and Marion County, where we still have the 40s and 30s even. We're still in the 40s at the Sanford Airport, 47 degrees, 51 right now at OIA, and 48 over in Titusville. So a drop from yesterday, the coldest morning of the week as expected, but we woke up to lots of sunshine, and we are going to keep that going all day long. So highs tomorrow return back to the 80s. We get to 82 degrees. And then as we take you through that 7-day forecast, you can see Friday's rain and cloud-cooled sky with highs in the low 70s, but then we'll have the drying conditions through Saturday afternoon. It'll be breezy, but we'll have have 70s and 80s back in the forecast. Our time now, 8:49. We'll get a check of the roads with Alexa.
A live look at congestion heading into downtown Orlando. You can see the traffic building on I-4 near State Road 408. Things are busy as you start that Wednesday morning commute. And we have slowdowns for a crash on Curry Ford. This is right at Goldenrod. We're seeing some impacts as drivers head out and about. Then we have slowdowns for a crash on Apopka Vineland. At this point, drivers are no longer seeing any major shakeups. Here's a live look from our tower camera over Lake Eola Park in downtown Orlando. We have a pretty calm and cool start to your Wednesday morning. You can see beautiful skies up above. Not much cloud cover this morning. Certified meteorologist Cassandra Crimi will get you ready for the cool start to your day ahead from Severe Weather Center 9. You're watching Eyewitness News this morning right here on TV 27. We'll be right back.
This is an Eyewitness News update.
Good morning. It's 8:56. I'm Alexa Lorenzo. In the news this morning, a man is in the Flagler County Jail after a discussion on religion turned violent. Deputies say Hunter DeThrow started talking to two men outside of a Circle K store on Palm Harbor Parkway Sunday night. Investigators say the debate became heated, and that's when DeThrow punched one man repeatedly and stabbed the other. They called 911. DeThrow ran away from the scene, but was arrested at his home the next day. On the Space Coast, SpaceX and NASA are counting down to the next resupply mission to the International Space Station. Tomorrow, they hope to launch over 6,000 pounds of food, supplies, and research equipment. It'll be a very busy day at the space station after a Soyuz spacecraft will launch from the ISS on Thursday. It'll carry 3 crew members, including NASA astronaut Tracy Dyson.
She's going up for a 6-month mission, about 6 or 7 or 8 hours before that. So there's a crew launch from Russia and a cargo launch from the United States here in Florida.
The CRS-30 mission is scheduled for 4:55 tomorrow afternoon. If it launches, you'll see it here on Channel 9. Here's Cassandra Crimi.
Well, outside early this morning, a lot of the 40s that we have started to warm back up into the 50s, but we still have some 40s. New Smyrna, Titusville. As we take outside in the villages, DeLand, we even still have some 30s up in Palm Coast. So it's a cold start to the day. We'll have rebounding temperatures, though, this afternoon. Sunny skies and temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 70s in most spots. Our beach communities just a little bit cooler. We'll look for highs there in the low 70s. And then tonight we will keep it cool, not as cold, but down to the 40s still in some communities. In Orlando, we'll get down to about 53. Alexa.
Cassie, thank you. Remember, you can get the latest weather and news at WFTV.com anytime during your day. We'll see you back here for Eyewitness News at noon. Have a great morning.
Track Idalia with our free Channel 9 weather app. Get the most accurate track of the storm, monitoring conditions as they change, making sure you're prepared and informed throughout the storm. Channel 9 Eyewitness News is weather coverage you can count on.
The latest new breaking details live only on WFTV tonight.